The tournament experience can be a lot like buying a bag of chips. On the outside, it looks great. You just can't wait to get into it. But when you open the bag, you realize you were getting a lot less than you were expecting, except when you go to an APP event. I've heard a lot of positive reviews from players that among all the tournaments, this is their favorite amateur tournament experience. Even attending as a spectator, I had a ton of fun, met a lot of people, and got to watch some fun matches, and even tried some products out. This particular event, the APP Newport Beach, had the largest turnout in APP history with 1,800 players. So here's what we're going to go over in this video. When I mentioned earlier how I got to meet a lot of different people, one of them was the founder of Leorever, employee of the APP, and a website creator who's building free websites for people in the community, which I asked him a couple questions, which I'll include in this video so you can get more information about that. I'll showcase some of the different players that I got to spectate and film, and when I mentioned I got to try some cool products out, one of those products was the Owl Paddle, which I don't know if you knew this, but that brand was created by Todd Fote's father, Rob Fote. I will say the one caveat to the APP experience is the lack of top tier pro talent and the excitement surrounding them. Don't get me wrong, I like a lot of the players who compete in APP, but it's just not the same without the top names in both the male and female divisions. What is interesting though is that some of the rising pros I've talked to have mentioned that the qualifiers at the APP are more difficult than the PPA. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? It's pretty well understood by now that the APP's goal is to place a heavier emphasis on the amateur experience, which is great for us. That does raise an interesting question though, of whether or not a lower tier pro would want to spend more time and resources at PPA or APP. At the end of the day, what is it that the players ultimately want? To pay less in entry fees, more bathrooms, affordable food options, enjoyable locations, permanent pickleball courts versus taped pickleball courts, less sandbagging, or just more games? Really quick, before we get into this video, I just got to give a shout out to two of my sponsors. Without them, and of course you, this would not be possible. So my first sponsor is Peak. Peak has these two products that I'm really enjoying right now. One of them is a green tea matcha. I've talked about this before that I don't really drink coffee. Every now and then I will, but for the most part I don't. And these guys have kind of solved that problem for me. So with the green tea matcha, this has L-theanine, which gives me sustained energy without the jitters. That's the main reason why coffee kind of freaks me out. And also I get anxiety and these like crashes later on in the day from the caffeine. Not a fan of that. So with this green tea matcha and the L-theanine, solves that problem. The other product, I think a lot of you pickleballers are going to really enjoy this product. This is an electrolyte powder. So this contains hyaluronic acid and minerals that help my body absorb water more effectively. The hyaluronic acid, so evidence suggests that hyaluronic acid helps with soft tissue growth, prompts your body to make more collagen and elastin, keeps your skin moisturized, prevents tightness, boosts elasticity, and reduces scarring. If you're interested in trying it out, Peak gave me a special link that I can provide to you. You get 15% off plus free gifts like the beaker and frother. The link is in the description down below. And the second sponsor is a new one. I'm super excited to announce them because I consider them an organic brand within the pickleball space. So there's a family, they have a pickleball facility up in Pennsylvania, and then the wife is a registered dietitian, and she has a passion for just creating, honestly, just healthy food. And she did that with these bars. So they're called Be Free Bar, plant-based, No gluten, no dairy, no sugar alcohols, no gums, no artificial sweeteners, and it is a women-owned business. I really enjoy the flavor of these as well. I enjoy the texture and the flavor. I think those are the two biggest things when it comes to these bars. My personal favorite is the blueberry. It actually has real blueberries inside. If you're interested in trying them out, go to befreebar.com. Also, check them out on Instagram. Their Instagram is instagram.com/befreebars. I really like the brand. Of course, I always enjoy just supporting like small businesses. Enjoy the rest of the show. Of course, leading up to the event, I had to think about who I would get the chance to talk to and what I would want to talk to them about. Some were planned and some were people I wasn't expecting at all, which is the great thing about these events. You just never know who you'll run into and the relationship that you'll form with them. And of course, it wouldn't be a Building Pickleball video unless I talked with some founders. Someone I ran into at the event was the founder of Leorever. Chances are you've seen the apparel and associated it with the Raiders. Unfortunately, the Raiders have not transitioned to pickleball, so there's no association there. However, the founder, Jonathan, did work with another major sports team for several years, designing their compression gear. I'll let him tell you all about it.
The janky little $12 knee brace. This is way better.
That's a symptom for the problem.
Yeah.
What ours does, it alleviates the root problem, which is all the tightness going on in your,
From the quads all the way down.
your calves, quads, glutes,
everything.
everything. That's what the product does. It alleviates the stress on your hips. People feel amazingly better, but they don't know why. And in fact, when I first made the product for the Lakers, I didn't know why it worked. I just knew all the guys loved it and they felt better. And the trainer was ranting and raving, but I didn't know why it worked. And then I had a guy, a sports scientist guy, came into my shop and he bought them. And he started explaining to me why they're working. And I go, man, I'm glad you told me because I didn't know why they were working. But then we have so many people that worn them, and just the whole response has been phenomenal. No, we're in Huntington Beach. So when you come to visit us, all my employees were in the back making the product on site. Yeah. USA owned. We do our own manufacturing. It's not outsourced. We're the only ones that do it this way.
The tights being therapeutic, can you like expand on that?
Sure. Okay, I have to talk about compression in general. The stuff that you buy in the store from like Under Armour, the problem with the Under Armour stuff is it's cosmetic. It's giving you the illusion that you have compression, but it's so loose, it's not giving you any benefit. What balanced compression is what I developed, and it was all through trial and error of working with all these professional athletes. Balanced compression makes people better because what it does is it boosts your circulation. When it boosts your circulation in your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, as it boosts your circulation, it increases pliability. You hear Tom Brady and TB12, they talk about pliability. Well, that's what it does, increase the pliability. And as muscles become more pliable, they begin to stretch out and elongate.
So you might be wondering how I even ended up out there. Pickleball Superstore brought me out here to film the event and honestly just hang out. If you haven't already heard, they are an online retailer based out of California, founded by Steve Rack and Pat Rolfus. I had Pat on the podcast in the past where he talked about Pickleball Superstore and the hub locations, which he co-founded, and I just released that video of the hub location in San Diego. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that. What's interesting about them is they have a unique affiliate program that is built for everyone. So you don't have to be like an influencer, a content creator, a professional player. They wanted to make this for everyone in the community. Anyone can benefit from it, and they also have a virtual pro shop program for anyone building a facility or actively running one. They set out to create something for the community. They looked at some of the competing retailers and thought there wasn't much give back. Pickleball Superstore also has a recycle shoe program, and they're offering free sites to be built with some caveats like backlinks to Pickleball Superstore, which makes sense. Nothing is free in this world. And they also did a round of fundraising through a community crowdfunding program, which I took part in. But this community crowdfunding program is so that ordinary people can own a piece of a company. If you want to learn more about community crowdfunding, the technical term would be equity crowdfunding. Equity crowdfunding is a way to raise capital online to fund a private business. Funny enough, I actually used to work for a startup that created a marketplace for businesses like Pickleball Superstore, who wants to create a round of funding for ordinary individuals. I also got to sit down with an APP employee, Ryan McSpadden, and he is the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of the APP. And he goes into what his role is with the APP and some of the future plans that the APP has. Much like how the PPA had some ownership changes and acquisitions, so did the APP a couple years ago. APP made some changes with the help of Intersport, which explains a lot of the changes with the tour. I'll let Ryan tell you all about it.
Everyone, right now I have Ryan McSpadden with me. He is a CRO of APP. Yeah, dude, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for pleasure being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Very much.
This is very like run and gun on the fly. I just met him for the first time right there. Met him through Mike Polisky, who's the CEO. Yeah, so I just wanted to like get to know you more and understand like what your role is, but what's your background and then how did you get involved with APP?
So I was at Feld Entertainment for 23 years and ran their global partnerships team. So Feld is famous for, Ringling Brothers and Disney on Ice and Supercross and Monster Jam, the largest family entertainment company in the world. Joined Intersport as the EVP of global partnerships. And then I met Ken Herman in the summer of 2021 and was just awe-inspired by the sport of pickleball. I had never seen it before. I'd never heard of it. And went to the Highland Park Chicago Open and met Ken. And then about 9 months later, Intersport had partnered with Ken to become a full-fledged partner in the APP, and I think the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, I remember when that announcement first came out, working with Intersport. It was a big deal because
huge deal.
You just didn't see that kind of like operational like merging and like acquisitions, especially from such a big name.
Yeah, it was everything that Ken needed help on. We were world class in sponsorship, event production, television production, content production. So it was a perfect marriage, and he knew the sport, he knew the players, he knew the opportunity. So it was really a perfect match.
Yeah. So what's your role like now? Like, what are you currently working on?
So as the CRO, I'm responsible for all the revenue streams that come into the APP. So tickets, hospitality, sponsorship, merchandise, licensing, and experiences. And so it's a big job, but it's a job that's driving the APP right now. It's a ton of fun, and there's a massive amount of opportunity right now.
Yeah, I feel like sponsorships is huge for just making, if you can make a tournament grow and you can make that successful, then it kind of trickles down into the rest, right?
Right.
Like amateur players need a place to play, but if there aren't the right amount of sponsorships, then if we lose that, then recreational players don't really have the APP or the PTA or any like really organization. So like, what do you think has been the key for the role?
I think, right now at this point, sponsors are just massively interested in the sport. Their interest in boardrooms and in marketing departments matches the interest of the player. So if you're in a company right now and you're not talking about pickleball, you're probably doing yourself and your organization a disservice. And so we're seeing the wave of that. We've grown our sponsorship from 22 to 23, we grew 400%. And from 23 to 24, we're going to grow 130%. So, and it's the, the 25 partners that we have out here activating make this a better experience and a better playing experience and a better festival experience and just an overall better experience for the amateur players and for the amateurs that are highly competitive and want to come play on CC1 and the pros. So the sponsors are doing an unbelievable job of helping drive experience right now for all levels of players.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always looked at the sponsors and I always thought, like having pickleball brands is always great. Like it's organic, it's like coming from directly within the community. But I also think it's important to have those non-endemic brands,
Big time.
brands that are outside that can give us more spotlight. It's like, what are you hearing from those brands versus the kind of like more organic brands?
Yeah, that's a great point. I was involved with Supercross for 20 years, the motorcycle racing tour here in the US, and that for so long was driven by the motorcycle manufacturers, the OEMs, much like pickleball had been driven by the paddle companies and the ball companies and the shoe companies. And Supercross really went to the next level when we started getting Monster Energy and Progressive Insurance and Butterfinger and Hershey's and all these non-endemic brands, because their marketing spotlight is a little bit bigger and it's a little bit more magnified and they have a little bit bigger budgets. The endemic brands, the paddle companies, the Owls, the Franklins, the Gammas, the Pro XRs, the Yolas, they've gotten us to where we're at today, and we're never gonna ever leave them behind. They're always gonna be part of the APP. But Partake, who's sitting here right next to us, is putting the APP branding and the APP tour in 576 total wine stores with an end cap. Monster Energy, Rainstorm is gonna be putting us on pack. I mean, there's just a lot of different brands that can help elevate the tour and that rises the ship for all the brands that are involved, including the endemic brands. But that's a great point.
If there are brands watching now who
Mhm.
might be interested in partnering with an organization like APP,
Mhm.
what would you tell them as far as what they could expect out of being a partner?
They're part of a cultural and sports phenomenon that we've never seen in our lifetime and probably will never see again. And it's still early enough. They still have a chance to be a first mover in the space. There's a lot of the brands that are showing up and being a part of the tour and a part of the sport that are going, I want to get in before anybody else wakes up to the opportunity. So we're seeing and hearing a lot of that. And there's still, categories that are open. They're closing quickly, but there's still categories open for brands that want to come in and own a phenomenon like we'll probably never see again in our lifetime.
Yeah. So you've been involved in Supercross and probably a few different like organizations and sports.
Yeah.
What do you think may hinder the growth of pickleball from your point of view?
I don't know that anything's going to hinder it. It's going to mature it. So figuring out and having the stars become household names, which the sponsors help promote that, right? The more household stars you have, the more people that follow them, the more that follow them, the more they want to watch them, the more they want to watch them, the more they want to watch them on TV. The more the TV ratings grow, the more networks get interested. The more the networks get interested, the more sponsors. So this is it's a cyclical process of building and creating stars that get the average fan interested. But the Association of Pickleball Players, we're not only about the pros, we're about the entire experience for all the players. But having a star power at that tip of the spear is super important, and it's going to help put more eyeballs on the sport.
Definitely.
And then when I mentioned the stuff about the website, some of you might be wondering, like, what were some of the details of that? So I got to talk with Eric, who is one of Pickleball Superstore's partners. He is an SEO specialist and website developer. I know what you're thinking, what the hell has this got to do with pickleball? Well, he's creating websites for free and for people in the space like Shay Underwood and Tanner Tomasi.
What's your background? How did you get connected to Pickleball Superstore?
So I've been in digital marketing my whole career. Basically, I help people get to the top of Google. So search engine optimization, and I've always saw where pickleball, the growth is going, and believe that people want to monetize and make money off that. So that's typically affiliate marketing, right? Where you get a commission off of transactional equipment sales or clothing sales or anything involved in pickleball. and came across Pickleball Superstore, started talking to Pat and Steve, and we came up with a unique program where I will build a website, we develop it for free, the development costs are free, and we bolt on the entire Pickleball Superstore in your website, help build your brand, and then you get commissions, what I call revenue for life, because what's unique about Pickleball Superstore is if you buy a paddle through my website with my affiliate code, it doesn't matter for the rest of your life, you buy it from them, I will always get an affiliate commission. So it's a revenue for life thing, and a lot of people want to build their brands, influencers, pros, they want to monetize, they want to, you know, build traffic so that they can get sponsors and things. And so this is a bolt-on addition that's exclusively offered through Pickleball Superstore.
Nothing in the world is free, right? So like,
Yes.
what is,
Yeah. So the development is free. In other words, we build a custom website in WordPress. It's got the whole store on it. And then we do ask that you, there are some hard costs, just basic hosting costs, which is about $25 a month. And you do that, and then you have the whole store. So you can also use it for other affiliates. So if there's another company that you want to do get affiliate sales, it is a fully functional e-commerce store. So we have clients that are going to be using it for their court membership, others that are just influencers that are monetizing it. But it is, yeah, but all that development cost, which is usually anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000, depending on how complex you go, that's all free just for being part of the affiliate program.
okay, so that's like the cost is that whoever's getting their website developed by you, it needs to be connected to Pickleball Superstore. Okay.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Gotcha. And who have you worked with so far?
So we've done Shay Underwood's site. We're doing Tanner Tomasi's. He'll be coming out. We've got a National Junior Pickleball, Courtney. We're doing that. We just saw Tyler and Megan. We're going to do sites for them. Now we'll also be part of the new Power Play that's opening up, and that program will be front and center in the pro shop there, because it allows, you know, also you get as a member, you can, you know, order paddles and have for demos and things like that. But it's a great way. You don't have to carry inventory. You can make 10% off every sale.
Yeah, cool. How can more people find more information about this, and if they are interested in getting a site developed by you?
Yeah, well, they can reach out to Steve or Pat, or my website, which is pickleballnonstop.com. And there they'll just sign up. You can or just reach out to Pat and Steve and do that.
The one person who surprised me the most was this guy who told me that his college roommate was the father of none other than Connor Pardoe. He also told me his son is Todd Fote, the #1 MLP Challenger player. And that individual is Rob Fote, the owner of Owl Paddles.
What happens after 6 months of constant play with this surface?
Okay, well, it really depends on how much you play. So, personally, and I'm going to tell you the honest truth, okay? I play every day. I'm a 5-0 player, I play every day, and every pickleball paddle I've ever played with, after 3 months, I break it.
Exactly, I'm 6 months,
Okay.
but not every day.
No, but what I'm saying is everybody's at different level, depending on how hard they hit and so on.
3 months you
Okay, usually 3 months I kind of like, you know, no, it's actually the carbon that starts to weight very, which is underneath. Okay, but what happens is I found they last just as long as any other paddle I played with. So they have very good life as far as that way. But we warranty it for 6 months. If you're after 3 months, whatever, you decide whatever,
So Jonathan from Leorever sent me home with some products, and he was super generous, and he sent me another package once I got back. And quite honestly, I really, really like the products. I've worn compression gear back when I was training jiu-jitsu and when I was doing running, but I never really thought much of it in terms of the functional components, like promoting that blood flow and everything that Jonathan mentioned about it. So on days where my legs are really sore, maybe I did a workout, maybe I went running, my hip flexor's kind of been bothering me lately, I'll wear the compression shorts underneath regular shorts. I don't know what it is, but it helps me feel a lot better when I'm out there playing. It's almost like it's a temporary relief for that moment. Obviously, I need to address the real issue, need to work on my hip flexors, but I think that's a great tool. And I really love playing with the elbow sleeve too, especially on my right arm. Not sure what it is lately, but I have like very, very small incidents with tennis elbow. Obviously, I don't want that to get any worse. Again, I need to address the underlying issue, but I think the sleeve is a great temporary solution.